Well, that's what minutes are for. Okay. With that, anyone else wishing to testify on items not on the agenda? All right, thank you. Then we will move on to our public hearing and move to agenda item number 2, public hearing, discussion, and possible action on an ordinance amending the city's code of ordinances to require the use of the city's benchmark elevation network for permits. And with that, we will open a public hearing on agenda item number 2 at 7:13 p.m. Does anyone wish to testify on agenda item number 2 in public testimony? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing on agenda item number 2 at 7:13 and come back into regular session. Council, this is the item that we've talked about in the past. This is making sure that we kind of close the loop on the project that we've been working on with ATS and make sure that the requirements that we've discussed and that you've approved and that you approved the expenditure of with ATS actually gets reflected and required in our code of ordinances. With that, I'm happy to accept any motions and then we can have further discussion if you'd like.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I might be recognized.
You are.
A motion on ordinance number 2024-01-17-02. I recommend approval.
You
I
have,
move approval.
and it is accepted. You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a motion by Ms. Brown, a second by Ms. Hudson. Further discussion, council? I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Being 5 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you, council. That we will move on to presentations. We have agenda item number 3, presentation and discussion on the quarterly investment report for the first quarter. Abel, step right up, identify yourself for the record.
Mayor and council, for the first quarter, the city's has approximately $728,000 invested with Texpool. The year to date for the first quarter interest wise was about $9,700. I'm sorry, $9,700. And it's about double for the same period of time over last year. And the average yield for the first quarter was about 3.5%. I'm sorry, 5.36%. Last year, over the same period of time, it was 3.5%. So we've been climbing as far as the yield is concerned compared to prior, especially the last 2-3 years. Any questions about the investment report?
Thank you, Abel. As always, council, do you have questions for Abel? All right, thank you, sir. With that, we will close agenda item number 3, move on to agenda item number 4, presentation and discussion on the board budget review. I'm sorry, on the budget review for the first quarter. Abel?
For the first quarter I looked at what items might be of interest. The city sales taxes this year, for this first quarter anyway, we're at 32% of the budget and about $25,000 more over the same period of time last year. So we're a little bit above target as far as the estimated revenue is concerned. Building permit fees, we're at 39% of what we budgeted. And on water sales and wastewater sales, we're about where we need to be as far as the budget versus the first quarter. We're about 24% on water sales and 27% on wastewater. And as far as the general fund is concerned overall, revenue-wise, we're at 31%. And again, on water and wastewater, with the same percentages I just mentioned, as far as the sales concerned, we don't have any additional revenue that's of any significance in those two funds. Hard to predict on taxes where we're going to be because December, January are our peak collection periods. And so for December, we're just getting started. At the end of January, you'll get a real better picture of where we are on property tax collections. Any questions?
Thank you, Abel. Council, any questions? All right. Thank you for staying late.
Yes, sir.
that, we move on to agenda item number 5, update from the mayor and staff on water and drainage bond projects. Things progress well with the with AO Services. We've had our pre-construction meeting with them. You probably noticed we did a community-wide letter to let everybody know kind of what the plan is. Gave them links to the website where we'll be posting the generalized timeline, that sort of thing. We did a walkthrough just last week with AO on both the drainage projects. I think those went really well, just trying to familiarize them with kind of all the various issues that we've worked through with the residents. I think that went well. They've got, at least for the drainage projects, the one that has the most things to order, most to procure. They've submitted all of those shop drawings to their suppliers, and they've ordered those component parts. So they're waiting on those to come in. So I think we're moving along well. You probably saw in some of the cul-de-sacs, which were kind of the first projects to be up. They started doing some marking and finding the existing infrastructure and that sort of thing the week of January 2nd. And we did provide all of those cul-de-sacs, door hangers 2 weeks prior to that work starting, in addition to the letter. I actually did flyers on all the homes to let them know that would be happening. So that's the update. It's going well. They'll be out and about from here on out for the next year or so. So we'll keep you updated.
Great letter, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Had a good ghostwriter for that with minimal edits. She always hates when she sends me the. With that, we move on to agenda item number 6, update on coordination of Google Fiber installation and water CIP construction. I will take this, and since Ashley's still working diligently behind me, I know that Ashley and staff met with K-Freeze and Google Fiber, I believe 10 days ago. Well, I'm told it went really well. They told us that they are happy to coordinate their project along with ours. We've provided them all of our plans and our schedules that AO Services provided to us. So they have all of that. I think they're building their permit application around that work schedule that we provided them from AO Services. So when they provide that application back to us, it will be hopefully aligned with that information that we provided them on where AO is going to be and what time schedule they're going to be on. So it seems like everybody's willing to work and coordinate and phase those 2 projects kind of together. So
Very good.
okay, with that, we will move on to the consent agenda. Happy to take a motion.
Move approval.
You have a motion by Mr. McDuffie. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a motion by Mr. McDuffie, a second by Mr. Robinson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Being 5 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 9. Under the regular agenda, discussion and possible action on a proposal from K-Freeze and Associates for a drainage study of the park. We had a discussion about this at the last council meeting and meetings before that. We did get back with K-Freeze quickly after the last meeting. We thought that they would have this proposal to you with a scope of work this evening. I know that AB is working on it because he and I talked about it specifically during our walkthrough the other day, but spoiler alert, we don't have it from them yet. So I'm sorry for that. We did ask. Did he tell us when he would expect to have that?
He's hoping to have draft proposals to us early next week to review ahead of bringing to the next meeting.
Okay, so we will bring that back. 9, 10, and 11. 9 is the only thing before you right now. 9, 10, and 11 all sort of relate. So we thought we would have 9 for you this evening. We don't. But it's still before you, and I'm happy to move on